Cold open question of the week, Kaz.
What up, Shoes?
Pro wrestling legend Ahmed Johnson was just in a serious car accident in Texas. Thankfully, he seems to be doing just fine.
It's good to hear.
So I don't want to make this too much about Ahmed, but just spinning off of that, here's my question for you. Would you rather be in a car accident or wrestle one match as Darby Allin?
There's not much of a difference between the two. So I think you're more likely to get into a car accident and walk away from it than being like, yo, see this plain glass window right here? Just gonna jump through it. Just gonna fall into it.
What are the if that spot that Darby took last night where he like did the leap outside the ring, just basically flipping onto an open chair? What are the odds you'd walk away from that?
Very low. So first off, I'm probably 2.5 times the size of Darby Allin. I'm probably 2.5 Darby Allins myself.
Well, let's say two.
Let's two. I'm giving myself a half too because I'm factoring the height also. I'm probably much taller than him. But it's never about the going up. It's always about the coming down for me. And I just give me the Corolla that hits the passenger side. Just let me skid off the road for a hot second and keep my seatbelt on. It's always on, you know. You can't wear a seatbelt while you're getting like suplexed off a balcony.
There's no airbag when you're getting superplexed onto a pile of chairs. That's true.
Nah, it's just chairs and cements. Like, nah, give me the car. Like, you're much safer in a Nissan Sentra or whatever, or a Kia Soul than you are wrestling as Darby Allin. So yeah, car accident in a walk probably.
Yeah, it was a Nissan Murano actually. So good guess. That's what Ahmed Johnson was driving. Yeah.
We love an economically sound legend.
Yeah, listen, ergonomically sound. When he said, "Oh yeah, hopefully Darby Allin will be ergonomically sound when he's that age." I don't even know if he'll be driving. Anyway, we'll find out. We got a lot of AEW and WWE and NXT, everything else to talk about. Let's start the show.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Masked Man Show with Kaz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Shoes. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Doing good, man. We got a lot of stuff to discuss, but I think nothing's bigger than, since we are at the Masked Man Show with Kaz, the home of pro wrestling free agency. We got one that kind of slid under the radar. That was, like a release that turned into a pretty massive free agent signing. And a shocking turn of events. Maybe one of the most shocking appearances we've had in a while.
I think it counts as definitely the most shocking, for sure. History making, I'd say.
History.
I'd go as far, yeah. The first man to go WWE, AEW, WWE, then back to AEW. The first man to pull a Jeff Jarrett.
Yes,
in modern times.
Well, yeah, except for Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, okay.
Let's say for Jeff Jarrett, he's definitely the first. He's the first Jeff Jarrett of the 2020s. We'll say that.
Andrade, El Idolo is back in AEW. The lights went out with Kenny Omega, post Kenny Omega in ring promo, rah happy anniversary promo. Lights go down. Excalibur is befuddled. Must be something wrong with the lights. I love that. I love that, that every time the lights go out, the announcers are just like, I'm confused as to what's happening right now. Another glitch from the truck, I guess. And when the lights came back on, there was Andrade in the black mask. He had his hair down. I think he was listening to the show and I was like, what's the point of having a ponytail if you never take it out?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he thought it too.
And he had like a not quite Jean-Claude Van Damme-esque, but a very like particular style muscle shirt on. Like it was a tank top that was like cut in a very unique way along with his suit. I got to start going like the suit pants and tank tops or something. Something really special about that. And then he beat down Kenny Omega. You could go back through the show and put in Brian, you could put together a supercut of all the times that I've said Andrade and Kenny Omega are like action figures from the same set. And I just want to see them fight.
Yeah.
I want to like put one in each hand and smash them together.
In many ways, Andrade is like, you know, the Spanish version of Kenny Omega. Like when you would like watch, like you ever watch those old school, like you ever watch Power Rangers and then like watch some special on the Power Rangers, how they'd have like a Spanish version or like a Japanese version of all that type of stuff. That's how I look at like Andrade and Kenny Omega. Like they both have a very similar sort of style. I think Andrade is a little bit more shorter in the tooth than Kenny is, you know? Like Andrade has probably got a little bit more of the athleticism that Kenny had back in like his heyday when he was going like 60 minutes with Okada and all those guys. Like, so seeing them two together as a wrestling fan, you know, exciting, you know, and golly, crazy sort of, you know, counter programming there because I'm flipping through the Yankees Red Sox and, you know, a Dynamite at the same time. And like literally as Jazz Chisholm is rounding third to steal home and give the Yankees the lead, I look at my phone and I'm like, what the hell? Andrade's already back. No 90-day clause, no nothing. Like we're just doing this. I was like, I bet, let's go. I've always been an Andrade fan, man. And I love that he went back to AEW. I love that, like, you know me, I love unpredictability. I love people doing things that says, oh, well, you can't go back and do that. Well, why not? Why can't he go back? Did he kill anybody? Did somebody, you know, poke an eye out? Was anything like that happening? No. So
poke an eye out.
random
go
thought.
ahead.
But nah, it's super interesting seeing Andrade back in AEW. But at the same time, you know, I was this close, Dave, this close from coming on the show maybe like a week or two ago and talking about how much I cannot stand the Don Callis family shtick. What is the point of the Don Callis family shtick? And as of last night, the fucking light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, I get it now. I love it. He's building a super team.
Yeah.
He is building his version of the 2017 Golden State Warriors. Like we're just gonna round up all the best hoopers in one group.
I agree. Like there have been numerous times where we both joked about how many people are in this group and how it's just like it's almost as if they can't think of something else to do, they just put them in the Don Callis family.
Yep.
But regardless of if this was always the plan, what they've done is lean into it. Like we're used to seeing wrestling managers having 2, 3, 4 guys in their stable, right? It gets to 5 or 6 and you're like, what's going on here? But once it gets to like whatever we're at now, are we in double digits?
We're at 9, I want to say. Oh, let me see if I can find the actual shot of this Don Callis family.
There are so many members of the Don Callis family, but it's great.
Right.
It's like Don Callis is...
Okay, so as of right now, the Don Callis family consists of Hechicero, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, the evil hologram guy. I forgot his name. Clone, I guess.
Yeah,
Clone. Yeah. Josh Alexander, Murder Hawk, Kazuchika Okada, Andrade, and Jesus Christ, I feel so bad.
Rocky Romero.
Rocky Romero. I was about to call him Rocco Romero. Yes, Rocky Romero. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members, not including Don. Does Don count? If Don counts, they got a full 10 members.
Normally, I would say that he doesn't count, but it's a family.
It's a family. Right? It's his
like
namesake.
The Heenan family. I mean, he's part of the family, right?
It's his namesake. He should
be. That's not counting, and also that's not counting Wardlow, who was back and gone in one night. That's not counting Cage, Brian Cage. who's out with an injury as well. As Trent Beretta, was he there on stage?
Nah,
Trent
he
Beretta,
wasn't.
is he hurt too? He's technically part of the Don Callis family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. But yeah, so we got at least 12 children in the Don Callis family and one dad. And then of course there's, did Sammy Guevara fully leave the Don Callis family? I feel like that was just sort of a flash in the pan.
He's in a new.
No, he's a babyface in Ring of
stable.
Honor now. Like that's fine, but I just don't remember.
I think Sammy turned again, didn't he? Isn't he like part of like some Spanish group or something?
Oh yes, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Regardless, not there
for sure.
He actually could have really benefited from a long run in the Callis family. Who else? Who else are the X members? Powerhouse Hobbs was one briefly. Ospreay, obviously.
Yeah.
We're forgetting somebody. There must be more former members. Oh, Roosh was there for a minute. Maybe he'll come back. His buddy Andrade is there. Listen, it's a gigantic stable. And Don Callis freaking out on stage last night, just being so excited about how big and awesome this group is. It's great. It's great. It is. It's the Golden State Warriors, except heel. I mean, do people think of the Warriors?
The Warriors were definitely heels. Are you kidding me?
The KD era Warriors were bad guys?
Yeah. Once they snatched up KD, they were full heels in the NBA. Absolutely. Just took all of the intrigue out of 2 full NBA seasons because they were just freaking waxing people.
I would give it to you if Ospreay were still in the group, because Ospreay's kind of got that Steph Curry, like everybody loves him, even if you want to call him a heel vibe.
Right.
I guess you could say the same thing about Takeshita.
I was about to say Takeshita's kind of getting there, where it's like, he's part of his family, but he's not. Well,
speaking of Takeshita, there's been a lot of talk about how he and Okada are going to coexist. Now that they're going to be in a big tag team match coming up and whatever. But I think one of the most intriguing things about Andrade is that there's now so many, it's not just that the group is big. There's so many alpha personalities in this group that it's not I can't think of a time when I've been more perplexed about what direction the first person leaving the group would take. Right? Is it going to be Takeshita? Is it going to be, who is if there could only be one breakout babyface star leaving the group, would you go Andrade, Okada, Fletcher, or Takeshita? I'll give you those 4.
I'd say I'm a heavy Kyle Fletcher fan, man. I think he's the guy that has the most potential to be like the Randy Orton of the Evolution, where it's just like, yeah, this guy rules. We should root for him, and just leaves, and he's younger. Sure. And I feel like every time I bring him up, I mention Randy Orton's name 3 or 4 words later, and I kind of feel like that would sort of
yes, you do. Go on.
That would sort of line up in the same sort of trajectory with his. I like Andrade more as a heel in this sort of situation. I like Okada is Okada, man. I don't even think it matters if he's a good guy or a bad guy. People are going to cheer him.
There, yeah.
He does not. He's him, And Takeshita is definitely starting to have some babyface tendencies, and has definitely he's gotten to a point where the AEW fan base has really rallied behind him and are waiting for him to sort of tell Okada to go fuck himself.
Yeah, I feel like we've been here for a minute, but go on.
Yeah, so out of those 4, I'm still going to say Fletcher, but, more on Andrade, man, just been, seeing news here, and they're like, well, the reason why he didn't have a 90-day release clause is because apparently there were multiple wellness violations or something like that with Andrade.
Well, he got fired. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they cut him because of those wellness violations, and it's interesting that that's the news coming out there. Is it true? Is this what's the word? Is this just good PR? Just trying to just get in front of something? Just be like, oh yeah, look at the guy they took from us. Oh, just the dude that failed a bunch of wellness violations.
Well,
what's the real story? And more importantly, do people give a fuck? Me personally, gotta be honest with you, Dave.
You don't
do not give a fuck if you failed a wellness test or not. Truly don't. Like,
well, I mean, listen, assuming that the stories that have been told on the media, whatever, are true, and I don't think there's any particular reason to believe that they're true. Everything always comes, and this isn't a knock on the people reporting. I mean, everything in pro wrestling is a work to some extent. But given that, I mean, if you assume that it is true, the story was that he was sort of incommunicado for a while, and I think that most people would read into that, especially given his AEW appearances. He's trying to kind of force WWE's hand to show him the door. You know, you get fired, maybe there's no 90 days, like you said, whatever. So WWE is in a weird position. You got to either lay down the law again, if that story is true. You either got to like set a precedent, or you can kind of deliver somebody to the hands of the competition. I mean, I'm sure this was not part of their calculus, but you and I would probably agree that a moment like that is probably a rising tides moment. I mean, something exciting's happening on AEW. Now you're thinking about Andrade, you're thinking about WWE. The more exciting this shit gets, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah, I love newsworthy shit. Like, the wrestling's gonna be the wrestling. Is it a good match? Is it a bad match? Is whatever. I love talking about this type of shit where it's just like, damn, like a guy who was just at WWE less than 2 months ago.
True.
What if that is back on AEW television and showing? And more importantly, I think it shows what Tony Khan is like as a boss. It's like, yo, the bridge is still open. The bridge is not burned. Like, you can come back. Like, Andrade has shown that you can leave under whatever circumstances, and depending on who you are, Tony will still bring you back.
Depending on who you are, meaning what?
If you're talented, if you're somebody who people still want to see, if all right, let's go all the way on the other side. I'm certain if CM Punk was like, I want to come back to AEW, like,
is messing with us now.
I'm not necessarily sure Tony Khan says no, to be honest. I don't think Tony Khan's in a position to really say no to super talented, popular wrestlers at this point. And the Andrade return, I think, could sort of have a butterfly effect to the rest of the wrestling world, saying like, hey, even if you jump back to WWE, like, and it's not what you think it was, and we think you'll, be a benefit to this company, we now have an example of somebody who has done both and eventually came back. So more than whatever Andrade is, like, I know there's, wrestling fans who only believe like the success you have as a wrestler is if you win championships or if you're a main event or whatever. That's not for me to decide. The interesting story is Tony Khan as a boss. It's like, this is a message to everybody out there that if you ain't liking what you like, when you went back to the mothership, like, you could still come back here. There's still an opportunity here for you if it makes sense. And I think that's the more important takeaway than what Andrade is going to be utilized or be at. Like, he's who he is at this point. You know what I mean? Like, he's a hell of a wrestler. He's a little ungovernable. You know what I mean? Like, he might do some shit,
correct? Yeah.
To ruffle some feathers and get fired and come back, whatever. But like, the beautiful thing about it is that none of it matters because he is a hooper. He can get into that ring and wrestle his ass off, right? So very, very interesting, and yeah. Good on Andrade for keeping himself popping, and keeping himself in the lips and the minds and the eyes and the thoughts of wrestling fans and the wrestling journalists everywhere. I hope I hope he gets utilized differently. Like, I'm wondering to see what's it gonna be for him. Like, is he cool just being who he is? Is he somebody who wants more? Is he somebody who wants to be a world champion?
I think he
hold
definitely
the title,
does.
all that type of stuff. Like, yeah, is he willing to like improve his English? Like, is it something where it's like he doesn't need to improve his English? Well, if it's like
he has Don Callis to talk for him.
He's got Don Callis to talk for him. Like, listen, man, Bad Bunny's doing a Super Bowl, and he is not going to say a single English word throughout that entire thing. I'm sure there's a world of thinking out there where it's like, why are we why are us wrestling fans feel like we're so entitled to these people to learn our language to enjoy them? You know what I mean? Like, we're clearly seeing on the WWE side that you can use your native language and still get over. Like, the whole Damage Control, Asuka, Kyrie, Rhea, and Io stuff is outside of the real conversation and the backstage conversations, have implemented their native languages, and it's enhanced the storyline. It hasn't taken away from it.
Absolutely.
So I'll be interested to see how they use Andrade and more importantly, how Andrade approaches this second go round with AEW and how he's going to be used. Can't wait to see it.
I totally agree. And for right now, do you think he's filling the role of Wardlow? Do you think this is the spot they had carved out for Wardlow before he got hurt?
I mean, I don't know. I'd feel some type of way if I was like the Murder Hawk or something. And they were like, yeah, Wardlow's hurt. And he's like, now's my time to shine. And they're like, not necessarily. Here comes Andrade.
No, I think Murder Hawk has probably worked through those emotions by now, but maybe
probably. But no, I don't think of, I get that, getting a new member and just striking while the iron's hot could sort of seem like, it's a quick decision to replace Wardlow, who was in timely injury, but they're so different, those two guys. Like, I just don't see it. I just think they got a talented, super talented, popular wrestler who you stand him across any one of your top guys in the AEW, and there's immediate interest in them. You know what I mean? And you can't say that about a lot of people on the AEW roster. There's not a lot of people that they immediately stand across from any of your champions or any of your founders or VPs or whatever, and people are excited or chanting, "This is awesome," and stuff like that. Andrade does that. Whatever you think about him, when that dude is in that ring, he is special. He's special, So, no disrespect to Wardlow. They're not even shooting at the same baskets as far as like in ring stuff. Like, Wardlow is good for what he does, but he is not Andrade. Andrade is a much more talented wrestler than Wardlow, with no disrespect to Wardlow.
Well, I clearly don't disagree.
Yeah.
But Wardlow is one of those guys that you want to hit, like he's like you, if you're Tony Khan, you probably have Andrade and Wardlow on the same tier.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of like future projects or whatever. I mean, like potential world champions. I'm just saying, Wardlow joining the Callis family was a little bit interesting, but looking back, it's like, but if they had something like this planned for him, then it makes a little bit more sense. You know what I mean? Anyway. So that was exciting. That was big. Right prior to that, we saw the Jurassic Express, the recently reunited Jurassic Express, come in and bail, sort of save Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega looked like he might be getting back on the same page with the Bucks, and then Josh Alexander got involved, and then Jurassic Express came in and beat up the Bucks, and it's all this stuff going on. This is another one of the cool things about the Don Callis family is, no matter what you think about Callis, all these storylines tie together so neatly because he's involved in all of them, and then he sits ringside and does commentary. Now he's got opinions on everybody, and it's a lot of stories are intersecting. And I always, AEW's it's really amazing to watch week to week, because even if there's not like a big storyline going on, you can always put together a 6-man tag with bits and pieces, Kenny Omega and Brodito, and it's a cool, fun match to watch. But the cool thing, but the even better thing is that now with Don Callis involved, everything's got a purpose, right? Everybody, every weird grouping of people make some sense because Don Callis has got his tentacles, in everything. He's got somewhere between 9 and 12 members of his team now. That's a huge, Chris. Is that the biggest stable in pro wrestling history outside of the NWO?
No. I was about to say, I think the NWO was pretty big at one point. Let me count. Let me go find a nice Bullet Club photo and see how many people are in that photo. I think at one time.
I think they topped out at like 8.
All right. So I got
been 2 tag teams, so that's 4. And then
Okay, so the Kenny era Bucks, the Kenny and AJ Styles era Bucks had Matt and Nick, Tama Tonga, Good Brothers, AJ, Cody Hall, Kenny Omega, Bad Luck Fale, and one other guy who I'm fucking blanking on. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full-time wrestlers. If you count Cody Hall, all in one squad, you know? And even Cody era, okay, so Cody era Young Bucks, we got 1,
That
2,
had to
3,
be the
4, 5,
biggest,
6,
right?
7, 8, 9, 10. They were also had 10 members with Cody Rhodes, Adam Cole, the Bucks,
The
Kenny,
Gorillas of Destiny.
God, Adam Page. Yeah, goddamn. So I would say the Bullet Club, NWO, Don Callis family, both 10 staples. 10
Stable members?
10
They are all
stables. So, but you know what? They got to get some cool merch, man. You can't be walking around. This is one thing we do gotta hold Don Callis' feet to the fire right now, as far as like having a real stable. Y'all gotta step your merch game up. Like y'all can't just be all walking out with your own sort of fits on and your own sort of just different colors of the rainbow when you stand together. Like we need a shirt, we need a symbol, at least
we need
hand
something.
sign.
I don't know if they need another name.
You. Yeah, like outside of just be like, I'm part of the Don Callis. Like something's got to unite you guys somehow. Y'all either need a cool hand sign, y'all got to have some cool merch or a t-shirt. I'll even settle for like a fucking Nexus armband. Like you got to have something that lets me know.
Give us something to buy. We love you now.
There's got to be a tie that binds you guys. Y'all all standing together as badass as you are. Like you need a little bit of unity. Don, get on it. Get on it. Like call the merch people, get some creative guys on social media, and find you a fire ass logo. And stop wasting all those money on those paintings and that artwork, and invest in a dope logo and t-shirts for your 10 stable crew, 10 person stable, so they look cool when they have these group ass photos. Like as soon as I typed in Bullet Club and NWO, Nexus, bam, cool ass group photo with a t-shirt or an armband that unites you all. Don, merch game. Think of the bread, dog. You're too successful to not be putting the money in front of you guys. All right, like get it together, Don. Get it together. You got some hoopers on your team. I'm calling you guys the Golden State Warriors of professional wrestling right now. You got to lean into it. You got to lean into the fact that you have an overpowered group of top tier bell to bell guys. Something's got to unite you all.
How many people do you think were members of the Heenan family in WWF only, not the AWA Heenan family, not the Georgia Heenan family? How many people?
How many people do I think
were in the Heenan family? Not at one time, but overall, the WWF Heenan family.
Oh, geez. I'll lose count after like, okay. So I'm thinking like,
there's going to be a lot. There's a lot that you're not going to get. So
Rick Rude.
Yeah. I mean, those are both correct.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I guess Andre. Yeah.
And go back further.
See, this is like my actual like wrestling watching like birth. So anything further back than that, I got a Wikipedia or some shit.
Big John Studd, remember, because he was feuding with Andre when Andre was a babyface. King Kong Bundy.
All right, I got a photo up here now. You got Haku, of course. How'd you forget that?
Yeah. Ric Flair, not a member of the Heenan family, apparently.
No, guess not.
Bockwinkel,
but that was AWA. Yeah, I'm just talking about WWF only. There's a lot of wild cards here. The answer, I believe, is 14, but that's over the entirety of the Heenan family. Very few of these overlap. The missing link: World's Strongest Man Ken Patera, Big John Studd, we mentioned, Bundy, Orndorff, Harley Race, High Chief Siviafi. Anybody remember him? I don't know. Rick Rude, Hercules, Barbarian, Haku, Tama. And then you remember the part where he reinvented Terry Taylor in the Brooklyn Brawler? The Red Rooster.
Yeah.
He decided he could manage them to championships. And then, of course, the greatest tag team of all time, the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Maybe that's 15 if you count those guys. I maybe counted those together because they were one line. Anyway, the Heenan family, and it's a very long run with just in and out the door for these various people. I had a total of 14. Don Callis, a different family, right now has 12. You could count. Pretty impressive work. Pretty impressive work by Mr. Callis.
Just got to get him a shirt.
Yeah, well, let's design it. What are they going to be called? They have to be called a Don Callis family, but they need a nickname. They need a Bullet Club-esque nickname. You know, it's like, yeah, we're the Don Callis family, but like, what do they call themselves when they're hanging out? That's what we got to figure out. But I think, listen, no complaints. Love the Don Callis family, and listen, I think it's a big day for AEW. I think that we're now fully in on that. And you were, before we hit record, you were saying you had something else from Dynamite you wanted to sing the praises of.
Yo, wrestling does not have to be complicated all the time. And last night, AEW did something. When AEW keeps it simple, first off, that 6-year video package that they showed, celebrating the 6 years of AEW, big applause for that. That was awesome. You know what I mean? But the thing that I love the most is the way they set up Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe.
Oh, okay.
For the World Championship. Wrestling does not have to be complicated. Anytime you have a world champion tagging up with other guys that the crowd also loves.
Yep.
It doesn't necessarily mean one guy's got to turn heel or somebody's got to turn on somebody. Like
often sometimes it does.
Sometimes it just takes, yo, you stepped on my shoes.
Yeah.
Like how many fights, how many arguments have started off just as simply as like, yo, like, well, just watch where you're going, bro. Like, just watch these. Oh, you stepped on my shoe. Like, that was the most honest and realistic build to a world championship match I've seen in quite some time. Hangman Adam Page, after they won the 6-man tag match, he's doing the good guy thing. You know, there was obviously a little bit of miscommunication, but they still came out victorious. Page just slaps the title on Samoa Joe, his trios title. Like, here you go. And Joe, being Joe, like looks him up and down, and like gives him the sort of look that you only see in people that you know are about that life, and demand respect. And I'll always sing the praises of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, if I have like a top 5 wrestlers that I've ever watched, that I've ever like enjoyed more, Samoa Joe probably gets in that 5 somewhere. Like, he's just one of my personal favorites to watch. Just because everything he says and does and the way he carries himself.
He's one of the best. Absolutely.
He's one of the best, and he's one of the most believable. He's one of the most believable pro wrestlers there ever was.
Yeah.
Without having to be like a Brock Lesnar type believable. Like, he's a guy, like, you run into Samoa Joes at bars every time you go to a bar, and you don't want to get him on his bad side right then and there. And one thing led to another, things escalated. They had to get separated, And at the end of the day, they were just like, yo, if you want some, you know what I mean? Like, let's get it going,
This isn't a first. Sometimes this isn't a first for Samoa Joe, by the way. He's didn't his MJF feud begin with them just bumping shoulders on the entrance ramp?
Yeah, I think something similar to that for sure.
Samoa Joe,
similar to that.
Love the guy. Incredibly intimidating real life presence. I don't know, man. When you're like 6 feet tall and 7 feet wide, you should probably be used to people bumping your shoulders,
He probably gets bumped into a whole lot. That's probably why.
Yeah, maybe so. Why. Maybe he's just really particular about it. Hey, nobody's bumping into Darby Allin. Well, yeah. Darby Allin's like a breeze blowing past you. Samoa Joe's built different, literally. But yeah, Samoa Joe, I agree. Samoa Joe is, there's a lot of guys like him that we kind of talk about being sort of plug and play world champions. It's like you believe in him just 100% implicitly. And the more that they like, it doesn't take any building up. He can go toe to toe. He already beat Hangman Page when he was a world champion.
That's what he said. He was yo, you've never beat me. You've never beat me. You know, and Hangman, like, that's how you want your baby faces to react. Like, you want your baby faces to not be on some like, oh, brother, we should respect each other, but blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, man, like, yeah, I respect you, but like, yo, you're right. I haven't beat you. I need to. Let's find out about this. You know what I mean? And just bam, they threw the graphic up, Wrestle Dream.
Oh, it's just
I'm all in. Let's do it. You know, Samoa Joe's one of those guys. And also, I know not every wrestler can pull that off, right? Like, not every wrestler can pull off just being like, yo, watch where you're going. And then the match goes off of that. Like that.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, listen, it's for all the hoops that we jump through, you're right. It can be this simple. It also can be kind of silly if it's the wrong person doing it.
That's
right?
true. Yeah. It works because it's Joe. It works because Joe is the guy that you want to make sure that he doesn't fucking hit you, or you don't get in his way, or like, you know, you respect him. He's better to be, what's the phrase, in the building pissing out than outside of the building pissing in, you know? Like,
never heard that one, but okay.
It's better to have Samoa Joe be a guy that is on your side than not be on your side. And something as simple as a brush of the shoulder or a step on his shoes could set a guy off like that. And on top of that, it's even scarier because he's done it before and he's won like that before. That's literally how he became the world champion. He's like, well, somebody had a bad day and they crossed Joe and they ended up losing their title for it. So that's all I need. Let's do it. Hangman versus Joe. You know it's going to be good. Great job from AEW for not dragging this out and just doing something short, sweet, and simple. Love it.
Oh, could not agree more. And that, but I was going to say, he's plug and play, but that's it. It's that legitimacy that he brings to the table, not just as a potential prospective champion, but also as a guy. It's the legitimacy of intensity. He's the sort of guy that when he says, you disrespected my title, that's disrespect to me. Now I'm going to punch you in the face. You buy it. You know, if name a random member of the Don Callis family. This is not to knock anybody, but if any of those guys pulled that same routine, you'd be like, oh, this is shtick. This is a pro wrestling shtick, right? Samoa Joe is just believable. You know, I can speak from firsthand experience. I've told this story. The first time I ever said hi to the dude, I made the mistake of approaching him from behind when he was sitting at a table. Put my hand on his shoulder.
How'd that go?
He turned around. All he had to do was turn his head like 15 degrees and look at me, and I was more scared than I've ever been in my life. And I've been in multiple car accidents.
Dude, I have a very different first time meeting Samoa Joe experience. Extremely different. But it was the best kind of experience.
Yeah.
It was my first week on the road for WWE. And we were on the West Coast, I think, somewhere. And I probably shouldn't be telling the story, but fuck it. And you know, we're about to leave. And you know, Joe, you know, who we conversed on Twitter here and there, but we didn't really like, you know each other like that. So Joe's like, yo. I'm like, what's up? He's like, you. And I was like,
given the smoking, the international smoking symbol.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. He's like, I can't travel with all this. Here you go. And I was like, did we just become best friends?
He handed it because he couldn't go, he couldn't board. Oh, okay. That's nice.
Like, he
couldn't travel
with all of it, but he was like, hey man, if you partake, like, all yours, pal.
That's bold. That's bold. It's bold on both of your parts. Because you could have been just like, what do you take me for?
It could have went very wrong. Like there's something about like an unspoken connection between folks who just get along, know each other, run in the same circles. He knew, I knew. We did a little eye contact, a little hand signal, and lo and behold, a friendship was born.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Like many friendships born over the years. But yeah, shout out Joe, man. He made life on the road much, much easier in those early days of WWE. He's the man.
You, I mean, that was risky for you too, because you don't know if somebody gives you a little gesture, if they're
could just be a setup.
It could have been a setup. It could have been a setup. It could have been. I mean, listen, you certainly didn't know he was about to just hand you the baggage, right? That he was gonna like hook you up like that.
Nah.
He could have,
and it was good stuff too, man.
No,
it was nice.
He
and
could have
heavy.
been like, then swing back into my hotel room real quick and give you some shit that would wreck you for days. You know, like you don't know what you're getting into.
It was very pleasant. Like there was, it could have been anything sprinkled in that joint. Could have been something he got from somebody else. He's like, yo, we're gonna fuck with the new guy. And I was
gonna say all of the pro wrestling hazing stories you've heard over the years, you've read online, you've heard rumors of. That would be my first. That would be my first story.
Nah, this is the complete opposite. My hazing story was
He's telling me a tweet. It's gonna be meth. This is how they're gonna fuck with me. I'm sitting in the creative meeting, just like clawing my face off. You know,
it's like bath salts in there or something like that. Nah, like he told me all about it. He's like, hey, I'm out here in California. I get the best stuff. I was like, Joe, we are pals, buddy. Good times.
I hope he's okay with you telling that story.
I hope so too. That's another thing. I hope this doesn't, I do not want to be on your bad side, Joe. I just thought it was a cool story to share of how cool you were to me the first time we got to work together.
And that's why we call him Sativa Joe. That's it. Anyway, future world champion, next world champion. There's zero chance he's going to beat Hangman, but how good could this match possibly be?
It's going to be a great match.
Place your bet. You know what we should do? We should do future bets on just star ratings. We're not picking winners and losers.
Like over-unders?
Yeah, over-under. I mean, so how high does Meltzer go now, Brian? Are we past 6 stars?
Yeah.
There's been some 6-star matches, right?
Yeah.
There's been some 6-star matches.
Like the over-under here is what? The over-under for Samoa Joe Hangman Page is 4 stars. No, you got to go with a half, right?
All right, I'm looking at the highest rated Meltzer matches. Shout out to the one and only Dave Meltzer. Let's see. According to Pro Fight DB, there have been, goddamn, a whole lot of matches over 5 stars. Let's just go 6. There has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, according to Dave Meltzer.
Okay, so just
1 7-star match.
Okay,
12
there's been a 7-star
matches.
Okay, yeah. So listen,
or higher.
Just a brief rundown, right, of Samoa Joe's AEW tenure. Let's see. I'm just gonna name the higher rated matches.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He got 4 stars versus Kyle O'Reilly. I might not have gone far enough back. 3.5 versus Adam Cole. 4 versus Jay Lethal. 3.75 is against Darby Allin. 3.75 versus Wardlow. 4.25 versus Darby. Let's see. The Wardlow matches are not keeping up the pace here. 4 stars against Mark Briscoe. 4.25. Oh, that's a multi-person match. Sorry. 3.75 against Punk. 3.5 again in the next match against Punk. 4.5 in the triple threat against Page and Strickland. 4.25 against Swerve when he dropped the title to him. 4 against John Moxley. That was pretty recent vintage. The rest are multi-person matches. I'm going to put the over-under here at 4.25. Do you think Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe at Wrestle Dream is going to be over or under 4.25 stars?
I'm going to take a slight over. I'm going to go I think it's going to go 4.5.
Okay.
I think 4.5.
I think it's a weirdly safe bet. I mean, I don't know, it's hard to believe, but geez.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to know what a Meltzer match. I know how Meltzer porn looks. I know how a good Meltzer porn match looks. Where it's just like, this is definitely leaning into the 5 to 6 star category. Mm-hmm. For it to hit 4.5 stars, gotta be about 25-30 minutes. Probably gonna be the main event at Wrestle Dream, so I'm assuming it's probably gonna be a little longer than that.
Yeah,
multiple kickouts. Definitely gonna be, and they're both baby faces, so probably less likelihood of outside interference or like somebody coming in to like ruin this match. Like might be just a straight up victory It's just straight up make Adam Page look like the fucking man sort of match right there. So
yeah, we got the ops involved, but that's not like,
that's not their style, man. They're not gonna try and cost Hangman the match or anything like that. So might just be a straight up, I think you're better than you think you're better than me. I think I'm better than you. Let's have it out sort of match. And then they, shake hands, hug, roll something nice together, smoke it up, go their merry way. And then, maybe that's how it happens. But we'll see. We shall see, man. I'm a Samoa Joe fan, so I might grade on a curve,
Yeah, listen, we're all going to grade on. I mean, we're all Samoa Joe fans. I don't know if we're all going to grade on the curve. Anything else big from Dynamite last night? Let's run through. I'm excited about this. And I'm also just excited they're already anchoring Wrestle Dream with this big time match. We talked about Darby Allin in the cold open question. There was a moment that it looked like that chair bump outside the ring might have been, I've rewatched it 5 million times. It looks super smooth. Anytime you're in the mindset of I'm using this folding chair to break my fall, you're in a weird headspace. But it did seem like he was a little bit beat up after that. Wheeler Yuta seemed like he was going easy on him a little bit, like they were kind of working around it. But then they got right back into it. He put Yuta into the pile of chairs, the superplex, shouts to Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander. Marina Shafir went barefoot into the thumbtacks. We did talk about Orange Cassidy trying to dethrone Kyle Fletcher. That's where El Clone debuted. El Clone, for the record, has been feuding with Hologram well before either of their tenures in AEW. I encourage anyone to go read those Wikipedia pages to just, mind warp yourself. We're not quite at Mystico Sin Cara, evil Sin Cara territory here, but it's intense. But yeah, the Kyle Fletcher Orange Cassidy match was really, really great. I mean, I love just Orange Cassidy can just sell in a match like that better than anybody. He's like a living hope spot. So it's just that sort of match format works so well. And that was supposed to be Hologram in that spot. It's good to see they're just sort of forging ahead with this Hologram clone angle. And again, this is a great one. I wasn't even trying to make this point. When you look at Sin Cara versus evil Sin Cara, one of the biggest problems that WWE and just bookers in general have had over the years is when you're trying to come up with a storyline for somebody to just keep building on something without actually grounding it in anything. It's just like, I didn't care about Sin Cara that much. I thought he was cool. So now we're going to give him his own little universe to play around with. This is like the Sin Cara multiverse. It's like, no, that could have been what they did with Hologram and Clone. But when you now tether it to the Don Callis family, it feels like it matters for everything else. I don't know. Maybe that's a minor point. I thought it was great. But yeah, a lot of good stuff last night. Very good episode of Dynamite. Congratulations, do all around.
6 years.
Backwards? 6 years.
6 years.
Can you believe it's been 6 years?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Like I said, that video package that they shown really put it into perspective. Just how much cool shit that they've done over the years. I love that they weren't petty enough to leave out CM Punk and Cody and those massive stars in their company. It only makes what they do that much cooler. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to AEW, man. Like I said, their existence makes the wrestling economy and the health of the industry that much better. And anybody who doesn't want to see them around doesn't necessarily. I don't think they're necessarily wrestling fans, to be honest.
You don't love wrestling. Yes,
you don't love wrestling if you don't want to see them exist at the very least. They have to exist. They have to exist.
Can I loop this back around to the beginning?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Andrade debut was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you think it was Andrade when the lights came up or when the lights went down? Did that cross your mind before he pulled the mask off?
Not at all. I thought it would be a little bit. No, I didn't think it would happen this quickly. The
lights went down. I got excited, in a very low key excitement sort of way. I'm like, oh, cool, something's gonna happen. Scoot up on my sofa a little bit, turn up the TV. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen. The lights come up. Andrade is there in the mask. right? He's got the black mask on, but it's not like super identifiably Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got the suit, and as mentioned, he's got the long hair. Do you know who I 100% thought it was?
Who?
Chris Jericho.
That
And I was just like, holy shit, they're sticking with Jericho. This whole thing has been a swerve. In that moment, I was just like, go back and watch. That could have been Jericho under there, you know?
But it wasn't, and it hasn't.
It wasn't. It was Andrade. Chris Jericho, for those of you following along at home, has been rumored to be leaving AEW. But you know what that means? It could just be that he's definitely not leaving AEW. Anyway, great work. Great swerves, great surprises all around. You want to do NXT or Raw? You want to do NXT Showdown?
Let's do NXT Showdown.
Well, Showdown's next week. Sorry. Yeah, NXT was a lot of fun. But next week, the Showdown card is Ethan Page.
But there's been lots of conversation about going from Invasion to Showdown, how there's lots of TNA people on the NXT. NXT people on the Team TNA. Lots of weird things going on there. But, you know, there was, I think the initial thing was Ricky Saints, JC Jane leading their teams, and Kalani Jordan and my guy, Jesus Christ, fucking blanking on his name, Mike Santana.
Oh, yeah.
Leading Team TNA. Now, I'm sure more people are wondering, why is Kalani Jordan leading Team TNA? Well, she is.
That's a very logical question. Why is NXT star Kalani Jordan? But she is the Knockouts champ.
She's the Knockouts champ. Obviously, Ash by Elegance had to
vacate
the title.
Yeah.
Masha Slamovich, who had been
had to vacate the company. Yes.
Had to vacate the company. Can I interest you in some Tessa Blanchard as the team captain of TNA? Probably not. Jakara
Jackson, who is like 15 minutes removed from NXT, is on under a new name in TNA and is part of that team.
Well, what makes it so hilarious is that, like, for all of the, oh my God, TNA is nothing but, you know, WWE people. Did you just realize that TNA has always been old WWE people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it has always had people that used to be in WWE. Now, obviously, the partnership between NXT and TNA makes the appearance of specific, wrestlers just a little bit more eyebrow raising.
Mm-hmm.
But like, dog, they always were old WWE guys in TNA. Like, even if they didn't go with the team that they had, like, they, at least the men's team has a good amount of people who have never technically been in WWE, as in Moose, Frankie Kazarian.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I forgot who the fourth.
Mike Santana.
Who's the fourth member? Mike Santana, and there's one more person. Santana.
Oh, who
Moose,
else is on the team?
Kazarian.
Leon Slater.
And Leon Slater. Okay, you got 4 guys who have legitimately never been in WWE before. But you easily could have gotten like Nick Nemeth or Matt Cardona or Mustafa Ali.
It looked like that's the way they were going by bringing Cardona back kind of out of nowhere, like making
Cedric
him
Alexander. Like, all of these guys have touched WWE at one point. At least Team TNA, their male teams consisted of all true blue TNA guys. So in addition to all that, you got some of the crossovers, which I think is even more interesting. I loved that Mustafa Ali stepped to Ethan Page.
Absolutely.
And
they'll have a North American title match next week. Yep.
And they got brand to brand continuity. He told the story like, yeah, we all saw Mustafa Ali was supposed to at least wrestle or probably win the NXT North American title and was fired right before his match.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed up and they talked about it. And obviously, you know, from what we've talked about, I think even we might have even had Shawn Michaels on the show that week that Mustafa Ali was released. Like, he was a massive fan of his. And according to people you may believe, was probably slated to win the NXT North American Championship. So I love that they're picking that story back up and throwing Ethan Page in there. But the other crossover opportunity that I love the most, oh my God in heaven. I know we sing the praises of Javon Evans on this show every single time we get a chance to.
That
but
is true.
you team him with Leon Slater, who was also 21 years old, who was the TNA X Division champion, who, you know, when I went to Slammiversary, got the nod of approval from AJ Styles and watched him and AJ Styles talk for about like an hour backstage, just giving this kid the game on everything like that. I don't want to see Javon Evans in a tag team because I feel like that might be I think the tag team might be too good, and they'll keep them together longer than they would need to, a la the Street Profits. But damn, seeing Leon Slater and Javon Evans as a tag team together, I saw dollar signs, man. I saw the new version of the Hardy Boys. I saw a tag team you could put on SmackDown tomorrow, and they would be the most fun tag team on SmackDown or Raw immediately. Yeah. Like, I would want to see them against Finn Balor and JD. I would want to see them against the Wyatt Six. I'd want to see them against Street Profits. I want to see them against everyone. And man, this man, Leon Slater, is so bound for WWE. He's probably the most, like, we'll get to you when we get to you TNA talent since Joe Hendry. Like when Joe Hendry showed up, everyone was like, okay, yeah, we know what's going on here. Like, he's going to be a WWE guy very soon. Leon Slater is probably right behind him. Like the same sort of like, oh yeah. We're gonna snatch this kid up too. Don't you worry about it. So you know, they went from Invasion to Showdown. It's gonna be a Showdown next week. But I gotta say, Team NXT does look a little bit more OD than Team TNA. So Team NXT, they have the NXT champion, Ricky Saints,
Trick Williams,
the TNA
Javon
champion,
Evans,
Trick Williams, Javon
and
Evans,
Miles Bourne.
And Miles Bourne, okay.
And the up-and-comer slot, and they're against Santana, Kazarian, Moose, and like you said,
noticeably conspicuous by his absence, Dave. The former NXT champion, Oba Femi, was not anywhere on NXT this week. Wasn't even really mentioned. Not a part of Team TNA. Not a part of Team NXT. Are we all reading the same tea leaves, Dave? Are you getting that feeling? Do you think that's the plan? Like, do you think we're not going to see Oba Femi in NXT anymore because it's that time?
It might be that time.
Might be that time.
I mean, listen, I'm not sure what else he stands to gain, right? If they're not going to have him show up on his first appearance in the main roster holding the NXT title, because that's a mixed bag, right? Like, KO did it, but then you got to deal with him losing it. And if the idea is that he's this unstoppable force, well, then how do you talk through him losing it if it happens once he's on the main roster? If they're not going to do that, I don't think he needs some sort of farewell tour. You know, I think he's proven all there is to prove. And he can walk right into the main roster and go toe-to-toe with whoever. Who do you want to see him feud with first? I mean, not like just his introductory feud. I don't care if who he wrestles to get his feet wet, but like, do you really go right in with John Cena? If you're sitting in the writer's room, is Oba Femi on your John Cena tour, like, farewell tour list?
I don't know, man. I feel like the fan in me wants him to be on that list, but the long-term success of Oba Femi, putting him against John Cena in his first match might do more harm than good long-term.
Oh, explain.
If it's not done well. Oba Femi's been booked as a monster since day one.
Yeah.
Since day one. And every monster that we've seen be successful never goes up against the biggest guy first. Brock Lesnar, when he first debuted.
You mean you take it slow?
Yeah. Not slow, but there's not much of a... Where else do you go after beating the hell out of John Cena? You know what I mean? Like, you have to keep him at the top of the top of the food chain. You know what I mean?
Make him the champ, brother.
I would love that. Is it realistic? Is it sustainable? Are people going to look at Oba Femi if he's not like the most perfect wrestler in a year after retiring John Cena, and people look at him like he's a failure. You know what I mean? Like, I, as a fan, would love to see Oba Femi be the guy that puts John Cena away in his last match. But I also think, man, he could use a couple of people he's got a shit can for a little bit, you know? Like, maybe there's some folks he could just toss around. And as much as we are like massive wrestling fans and watch everything that happens in every promotion, newsflash, people who listen to this podcast, not everybody in the world knows who Oba Femi is yet, even though they probably should. And getting him on Netflix, doing some insane human being tossing for a while that I'm pretty sure John Cena and Warner Brothers does not want him to do right now, probably isn't the best thing for Oba Femi right this second. Maybe down the line, if he shows up on SmackDown and he smacks around Sami Zayn and he smacks around a couple of other people, and then he shows up against John Cena in December, then yeah, all right, works. But he's got to shit can a few people on the way there. Like, he can't have our first time seeing him cannot be in DC.
Okay.
He's got to be somewhere. Even if you want him to be that guy, debut him on SmackDown or Raw this or next week.
Yeah.
Have him smack around a few people. Circle that date in November when Monday Night Raw is in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden is where stars are born and made. That's where you have him shit can John Cena. That's where you have him. And you give John Cena weeks to build this kid up. Like, if he just shows up out of nowhere on some open challenge shit, I don't think it does the best for Oba Femi immediately. He's got to get his ass handed to him at the Garden. And then the next few weeks, he's got to talk about how much he's been watching Oba Femi for this long time. And this kid is this, is that. Like, he's got to put him over. Like, he's got to talk about him. He's got to build this kid up if that's what you're going to do. And just judging from what they've done in the past, I'm not necessarily sure that's how they're going to do it, but I do think him not being on NXT this week is a sign
that he's bound for the main roster like now.
He might be. Like, however this invasion angle goes, showdown, whatever it is, like, or when is Bound for Glory? Bound for Glory is in like 2 weeks or something like that. Like, one of Oba, Trick, and Javon should be on the main roster before November. That's my guess.
Rank them in terms of who needs to get called up first.
Trick. I think Trick's number one.
But he's your TNA champion.
He is the TNA champion, but I think, something happens at Showdown. He loses the title to Mike Santana. Like, he's so ready for...
Is there any urgency to get something going with Carmelo Hayes before you call up Trick Williams, given their shared history?
Well, I think that they started to get something going with him in the past 2 weeks, with him coming back to NXT, tagging with Trick Williams, not helping out the Miz, where he kind of blew.
Oh, you think Trick shows up as his tag team partner on the main roster? Just rerun rerun their relationship on the main roster.
Maybe something like that. Melo didn't go and help Miz out, and Melo has had his eyes on the United States Championship also, and yeah, like, I would love to see Trick and Melo back together for a little bit, on SmackDown. Like, they've already sort of retconned what's happened between them on NXT. So if Melo's going through something and Trick comes out to help him, I think you're back in business, And they were a money duo together, man. Like, even though they're both, I think, have big solo potential, together, I think they could do some incredible things on the main roster. But I also don't want to see these guys stuck in tag teams. I want to see them all succeed on their own. And then maybe they tag every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I would say Trick first, Oba second, Javon second B.
I don't think it says I don't think it says anything bad about Trick Williams or anybody else to say what I believe, which is that Oba Femi is just the number one with the bullet. He's just and listen, it's not always going to be smooth sailing. He could have a Rocky Maivia year, like, who knows?
Yeah.
But like, he's the most He's the most seamless fit. You know, it's a lot easier to book scary or dominant than it is to book cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
think Trick is the easiest person to book. I think he's much easier to book on the main roster than Oba is.
Based on what, I mean, because Whoop That Trick's going to take off immediately?
Yep.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yep, immediately. And you know, Oba's got his own sort of crowd participation
maybe if they turn Jey Uso heel, they're doing it because they know they got Whoop That Trick in the back pocket there.
Probably.
You know?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't think... I feel like I have the confidence. If I'm sitting in creative, I know what Oba Femi versus almost anybody on the main roster is going to look like in a general sense. I'm less confident about Trick Williams. I think Trick's got all the skills in the world. All the potential. I just am not 100% sure what like Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn looks like. I feel like I could go ahead and map out Oba versus Sami.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oba is very easy to book. And what's great about Oba Femi is he's got 100% approval rating. So, I mean, he's not even compared him to Gunther a lot. He obviously doesn't have the resume that Walter had when he turned up in WWE, but he's got a similar approval rating. And I think that makes a monster easier to book on the front end. At some point, you could run into the same thing that you dealt with Gunther, with Rusev V1, you know, with every monster that's come before him. Is just like, okay, but now that you've established that they're dominant, then what? Right. But I think Oba Femi's number one. I think Trick is probably number two. And Javon is, I'm not saying you can wait forever on Javon. Obviously, they're already giving him a taste of the main roster. They've had him with Randy Orton. They've had him with Sami Zayn. But man, he can do a couple more laps in NXT. Do you think he needs to hold the NXT championship before he's done there? Is that an important...
With Javon?
Yeah, is that an important station of the cross before he gets called up?
I think Javon Evans being NXT champion does more for NXT than it does for Javon.
Okay, it's an interesting way of looking at it.
I think NXT, you know, like him being the face of that brand and that company, like I think NXT sort of takes this shit. I think it already kind of has, even without him being a champion. They kind of made the brand in his image. Young, black, exciting, freaking colorful, in your face. Like the brand is sort of in his image already. Yeah. He's just not the champion, you know? So I think him being NXT champion, you know, more solidifies where NXT is, and I guess for a larger part where the CW is in their audience than it does for Javon. I think everybody and their mother knows the only reason why Javon Evans isn't on Raw or SmackDown every week is because he's 21 years old, which is the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, he's also still, despite his talent, he's also still a develop. He's like a freaking.
What can't he do?
There's nothing that he can't do.
His
in
promo
theory.
ability is relatable and believable and unique enough to stand out amongst anybody on the main roster. In the ring, he's as good as anybody on the main roster. His body is like he's just as big as anybody on the main. Like,
well, he's getting there.
He's
still got some of that, like, you know, rookie wide receiver. He's got to add some weight to him. I mean, he's doubled his size since he got to
Sami
WWE.
Zayn.
Well,
he's bigger than Sami Zayn. Like, and he's way more athletic than Sami Zayn. Like, people always say, like, oh, you know, Javon Evans, he's still got to learn. I'm like, what else does he got to learn? You know, LeBron pretty much had it figured out at 21 years old. Like, they put him out there. They're like, yeah, this guy's the best player in the league. Like, it happens. Like, sometimes only in wrestling, there always seems like it has to be this sort of, you know, stations of the cross before like they eventually make you a guy. But in real sports, in real life,
that's true. That
doesn't happen like that all the time. Like some people, like the Williams sisters had it figured out pretty young. LeBron had it figured out pretty young. Tiger Woods had it figured out pretty young. Like sometimes you have Tiger Woods. Sometimes you have one of those guys, and waiting just slows their momentum down and gets them to a point where you have to build them back up again. Why not just do it? Why not just do it? Like, why can't the fact that he's young be the hook and not the thing that's like, oh, well, he's got to grow into? Like, no, because he's 21 years old. That's what makes him cool and what makes people want to watch him and what makes people want to go and see what he's going to do. Like, the day Cooper Flagg plays his first basketball game for your Dallas Mavericks, everyone's going to be watching, because ever since this kid has been 16 years old, they've been saying he's the next great thing, which is like what happens in any NBA game. And let me tell you, he's in a position that if he plays well, no one's going to be like, oh, he still needs some developing. Like, sometimes you're in a great position to be good and be productive right away. Cooper Flagg is in that position. He's a young prodigy, and he's going to a franchise that has won before and has vets around him and will cover up his youth deficiencies, just like Javon Evans. WWE has never been this
I didn't
healthier.
realize I was poking the bear here. This is like, I agree. I agree that Javon Evans is fantastic. He's the best. I mean, and probably the best. I'm trying. I mean, well, historically, I should know the answer to this, but what is the history of someone being that good at 21?
Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. Brock was a little older.
Randy Orton was not that good at 21.
And he wasn't that young either. He's probably still doing OVW shit.
He was the youngest. What was he? The youngest world champion when he won it?
Rene Dupree? Was that his name? Was he?
Rene Dupree is okay. We're not. I'm talking about great wrestlers.
I can't name them.
Paige?
Not off the top of my head.
Paige? I was thinking Paige, but I think that even with the benefit of like placing her in the history of
Lois
women's
Keys,
wrestling,
Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks was pretty good, pretty young. You know, like, gosh, I don't know, man. Like, the whole developmental system sort of skews the youth, and that's wrestling, right? Like, some of these guys are good right away, and they kind of got to like toil away and pay their dues, eat shit, whatever the hell they call it, before they're ready. And sometimes, like, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to. Like, certain special talents.
Oh, Roxanne Perez. Sorry.
Boom. There you go. Roxanne Perez. That's somebody who's really good at a really young age.
Did we mention Nicholas? World Tag Team Champ at the age of 10?
Where is Nicholas? Like, what's his where are they now segment? You know what I mean? Is he trading right now?
Should be in college by now, right?
He should be. I feel like he's definitely getting some college letters or something. I don't know.
Essa Rios was 19.
Get out of here.
Great when he debuted with WWE.
Awesome.
Where is he?
He couldn't have been that much younger than Lita, right? Lita was probably around the same age, right? When Lita debuted, she was Miss Congeniality in ECW. How old was she?
Hold on, I'm still on Essa Rios now. Mr. Aguilar is the name he's been working. Looks like he's in AAA. In November 2017, he was in AAA. Sorry, I don't know if there's more here.
SmackDown 2, Know Your Role legend. Essa Rios.
I loved him, man. So anyway, Javon Evans might be one of one, or one of two if we count Essa Rios, who we both love.
Shout out Essa Rios, yo. But NXT was really good.
Tyler Bate debuted at 19. Kelly debuted at 19. Rene Dupree, 19.
He was young, right?
Oh yeah, he was good, super young. Javon Evans and Rey Mysterio.
Boom.
Who are we gonna? Is that the right comparison?
Might be. I might be doing Javon Evans a disservice, gassing him up this much too. Like, I might be setting him up for massive failure just by saying, like, just put him on the main roster already. But nah, like, it is. Sometimes it's cool to have somebody cool and young around a bunch of old guys. Like, that is the hook sometimes. Like, you don't need to overthink it. You don't need to let this guy, like, get injured and freaking have to come back from an injury or, like, have his momentum stop. Like, sometimes you gotta strike while the iron's hot. Sometimes you gotta declare for the draft a year before you're ready, but knowing that you're around, like, veterans and NBA pros, you're gonna be a better pro because of it. Like, it happens in real sports all of the time. You have an opportunity to do that here. Don't waste it with Javon Evans.
I know that we're right in the midst of the El Grande Americano frenzy. and we don't need too many tongue-in-cheek gimmicks at the same time, but it would be awesome if they gave the guy the gimmick of the youngest world champion, the youngest WWE signee ever, but he's like clearly old. You know, just like bring back Al Snow and make him shave and just be like, give him a different name, or just some middle-aged guy with a giant 5 o'clock shadow, just be like the only 17-year-old to ever perform at WrestleMania. And that's the gimmick. I'm all about fake youngest of all time. Let's transition over to Raw. I mentioned Jey Uso potentially turning heel. The show ends on Monday night with Roman Reigns making his big return to make the save, to save his cousins, the Usos, against the Braun and Braun security. You know, one of the positives to having every episode of Raw feel like it ends the same is that when they mix it up and added another element, it feels like a real special thing.
Mm-hmm.
Roman's back, baby. Are you excited to see him back? What do you think Roman and Jey were saying to each other during that lengthy handshake, dap up sesh as the show was going off the air?
He was doing the Draymond Green Kevin Durant meme.
Oh,
he was telling him like, "Yo, what did I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you need to do. It's all about you." And Jey is laser focused, and Jimmy knows what's happening. The same thing he's been saying since the initial breakup of the bloodline and since the world sort of knew Jey Uso was next up. Roman Reigns is going to corrupt them. And guys, I know we compare the bloodline storyline to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the length and the story. I think we're getting ready to start Bloodline Doomsday. The Doomsday era of the Bloodline storyline. Like, I think.
Well, Samoa Joe.
I think we're getting ready to
Samoa
circle
Joe
those
again.
wagons.
The other Samoan Joe has never actually.
The Samoan Joe.
Did not turn babyface at any point in time.
But one thing that definitely stood out was, WWE put out a social video of Roman Reigns, sort of recreating his epic sort of talk to the camera promo that he had when he was going up against Logan Paul, pretty much saying like, "Yo, I'm tired of people thinking they could see me and da-da-da-da. If I had a button, you couldn't push it, da-da-da-da." He did the same thing. But one thing specifically he said that stood out a lot was everybody changes, not me. And I'm like, oh, I think Roman Reigns might be getting the football back, Cody. I think it's happening very, very soon. Probably sooner than we all think. Yeah, I think sooner than we all think, Roman Reigns is gearing up to be at the top of the food chain again. And we've had close to 3, going on 4 years of an uninterrupted Cody Rhodes is the man sort of run in WWE.
Sure.
With Roman just sort of dipping his foot in here and there, even as champion, dipping his foot in here and there. I think we're getting, back into the 6th inning with the bloodline. I think they're going to reunite. I see War Games over the horizon in the next couple of months. I think we're going to have Bloodline, we had Jacob Fatu, show back up just a little while ago.
Bloodline versus Vision inside War Games.
I could see that. I see Cody Rhodes keeps teasing about Brock Lesnar. He told Seth Rollins, he's like, "Oh, everything goes through you," and he's like, "Even Brock Lesnar," and he was like, "Everything goes through me." So, would not shock me if we get the Vision plus Brock taking on a reformed bloodline with Roman, Jey, Jimmy, maybe Jacob, and probably Sammy or somebody.
Can they have War Games without Sami Zayn?
It wouldn't be as fun.
If you're in charge of booking, are you going to put Javon Evans on both teams? There is that.
Nah, I don't think he's ready for War Games quite yet. Nah, I'm not going to say that.
What do you do with CM Punk if he's not in War Games? If Cody, if Seth, if they're both
I can see Punk in War Games.
You could do Cody Punk, I guess. I don't need Cody. I mean, I don't need Punk in there again as like a throw-in.
Would you do Punk versus Dom in San Diego?
Oh,
for the IC title,
dude, that's kind of.
Did you do that?
That's kind of wild to think about.
I mean, there's been lots of Punk and Dom talks, and he's quietly been his like mentor behind the scenes. Like he's gonna be in his hometown. I'm sure. Yeah, he talked about it on Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart, and every time you hear Dom Mysterio talk about how much he's always finds a way to like shit on CM Punk in interviews, which is like code for they're friends. He loves him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You see CM Punk was at Dancing with the Stars this week?
I did see that. Yeah.
There's no rumor that you can tell me about CM Punk that makes me more believe he's a changed man than the fact that he was like chilling and cheesing in the front row of Dancing with the Stars. I mean, that's
good on Punk, man.
Pretty surprising stuff. Pretty surprising.
But yeah, Raw was interesting. Obviously, it's always interesting when the Tribal Chief is back, and what more interesting is the constant mention of Brock Lesnar and how he's going to figure in with these Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, factor.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they were testing the waters a little bit. I don't know any great details from backstage about Lesnar, but I definitely listen. I have. I can say with confidence that about 2 weeks after his shocking return, or they gave it 2 or 3 weeks before they put the full machine in motion. I don't know if they were waiting to see what the response was. I don't know if they were hammering out contract details. I don't know. There could have been a lot of stuff, but it was a few weeks after he returned before they were like, okay, let's start making t-shirts again. Let's really put the whole machine behind him again. So he's back. He's fully back now. It's Brock Lesnar. I like the idea of Brock being in War Games. We talked about this a little bit before, but it's like...
Yeah, Brock standing around in the cage is a terrifying sight that I have to see.
But he has to come in last, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But Brock being in the cage, he might just get tired of it and leave, never come back.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. Do you give Brock a chair? Or is he just gonna do the foot to foot, like keep the warm up the entire hour that he's sitting in there? That's a long time for Brock Lesnar to be sitting in a cage. You remember the episode of Seinfeld where George got the security guard a stool, a chair, or whatever, and because he just felt bad that he had to stand all the time? But then there was a whole thing about what is the right kind of chair. If you had to procure a chair for Brock Lesnar for the time he's spending in the War Games cage, what would be the appropriate chair? Like, do you go recliner? Do you just go like bar stool?
What about everybody else? What about I was about to say, he seemed like a bar stool guy. I'd slide a bar stool in between the bars.
He seems he's kind of too big. He's too top heavy for a stool. I feel like he's just going to tip over.
Lots of back pain, I personally hate sitting on bar stools. I'm too big for...
But if Brock's got the back pain, what are you going to get him, like a gamer chair? Like what would be... I don't know. Maybe just a raw wood, just like homemade, just like a rough hewn chair. That looks like something he'd be used to. Something you'd find in a cabin somewhere.
If I'm Paul Heyman, you just give Brock his own cage. Like, you don't put him in a cage with everybody else. It's like, it's for everyone's safety that we build this special Brock cage in there. And it's not even a cage. It's like a pod. And it just opens up and smoke comes out.
Or it's just a shark cage, and we're like, here from now on, we're calling this a Brock cage. Every time there's a cage like this in a wrestling match, it's a Brock cage. I think that could work.
I think it will.
What else happened on Raw? Is there anything else that we need to hit on Raw before we get out of here?
I think those are the biggest stories.
I know. What we didn't hit last time that I meant to talk about.
What's up?
They released the first poster for WrestleMania 42. Did you see it?
Oh, with star of the Smashing Machine, The Rock, and Roman Reigns.
I didn't see that one. Wait, oh no, I see. I got Roman Reigns.
Oh, wait, which one did you see?
The first official poster for WrestleMania 42, WrestleMania Vegas, the pre-sale code is on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's 8 wrestlers. Yeah, I just told you the Roman is there and The Rock is not. I just wanted to know if you could guess who the other ones are.
This is WrestleMania Saudi, that poster that I saw that was being promoted in Saudi.
Oh, yeah.
I could guess. I'm pretty sure I can guess the 8. Roman, Cody, Rhea, Seth, Becky. It's 5. Punk.
Yep.
Oh, man.
2 more.
Io?
No, a great guess.
Jay?
No, a great guess.
Man. I'm missing 2 more.
You got Cody, Rhea, Roman, Seth, Becky, and Punk.
Jay Cargill.
That's correct.
Okay. I was like, black people.
Yep. That's the right way to be thinking here. We haven't got there yet. And the last person.
Just give it to me because I'm not.
It's the reason why I thought of this. It's Brock
Sammy?
Lesnar.
Oh, it's Brock?
Yep.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I was gonna guess Logan Paul, but Brock Lesnar, yeah. I mean, Brock returning to WrestleMania is gonna be a big thing when it happens, if it happens, especially in Vegas. So yeah, that shouldn't shock me either.
Los Americanos lost.
They got
Too
names.
Soon?
It's like Bravo and Tinko or some shit, right? Like, what's his name?
Los Americanos is great. Maybe too early for them to lose, maybe not. Who cares? AJ Styles and Dragon Lee AJ Styles more importantly got the win over them. LA Knight beat Kofi Kingston. Straight up BFT to the face. Raquel Rodriguez beat Bailey. What do you think about what they're doing with Bailey?
Split personality, hugger, ding dong, hello, all that type of stuff. It's something. I'm more interested in what they're doing with Lyra. Like Lyra has shown so much range in these like her reaction to Bailey is probably better than what Bailey's doing. Like the fact that she's always so incredulous and still trying to be like, oh man, I know I should like stay away from this person, but like she kind of has gone off the deep end and it's a little bit my fault. And she kind of feels guilty, but she's kind of just like, does nobody see that this person's lost her marbles? Like sort of thing. Like we are big fans of Lyra Valkyria out here. And,
well, she's been so great through all this. Ever since the Becky Lynch feud started, she's been lights out. She shows up on NXT now, and I care about her in NXT way more than I ever cared about her before, even though she was great there. I mean, it was everything. She is just...
if Io Sky wasn't around, she'd probably be the Women's Wrestler of the Year.
I don't know if anybody has course-corrected as quickly, any wrestler, as Lyra Valkyria has. Because we always knew she had the talent. You know, we always knew that what was feasible, what was possible for her. But dang, I mean, she just went out and did it. Like it was like she's just electric every time you see her. I don't know what to say. Speaking of electric, your guy Dom Mysterio eked out a controversial win over Rusev. Does that do anything bad for Rusev, or we like where this is going?
Well, Dom went full Guerrero in this, man. Are you kidding me? Like he pulled out all the tricks, and I love when they pull out the tricks, and it's like a trick to a trick. Not just like, hey, they caught him. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't catch this. And, Dom, boy, you just like your daddy, boy. Just like your daddy.
Bailey's already, inching towards, with the split personality, she's already got a foot in the dark side, I guess. Last question of the show. Between Bailey, LA Knight, and Jey Uso, which of them tells the audience to shut up first? Which of them is the first to say, you people shut up?
Damn. I mean, the one that probably means the most, man. You got to ask yourself, how good are those Yeet residual checks?
Do you think, though, that does Yeet disappear? Or do people still love Yeet?
He hasn't been wearing a lot of Yeet merch lately.
Dude, he was wearing a Yeet
shirt.
bucket hat on Monday. Like
the bucket hat's cool.
Once the bucket hat comes out, it's all over.
It's like we are selling this shit. I give it to. I think it's got to be Jay. I think it's got to be Jay. Like,
would you wear the bucket hat? Do you like the bucket hat?
See, bucket hats never really fit on my head. The circumference on my cranium is crazy. So like bucket hats never really did me well.
Yeah, when you get a bucket hat or something like that fits, like you feel lucky. Then you feel like you have to wear it. Oh, they did it. It's a large, the large /XL, the L/XL. Then you're just like, oh yeah, look at that.
Dave, if you wore a bucket hat, you would look like the lead singer from the New Radicals.
I got my Halloween costume ready.
What you give, don't give up.
I should wear a bucket hat. I'm gonna get the Yeet instead of the Yeet. I just get a ringer wrestling bucket hat.
I'm with that. But that should be your costume. You would just dance around the mall, wear like a raincoat,
tracksuit, or
something. Don't give up. Got real disease. That's a great song.
Oh my gosh! I love how we started the show with you, but before we clicked record, you were talking about your early album purchases. Your early fandoms. I'm glad we came back around to acknowledging that you at least know the New Radicals enough to be singing the song and identifying what their lead singer looks like.
First off, I was raised in Staten Island. The New Radicals, you get what you give. Lore in Staten Island is huge. It was filmed in our mall. It was filmed in the Staten Island Mall.
Really?
So it's like, you didn't know that?
I just kind of assumed the New Radicals were British or something.
Nah, that video was filmed in the Staten Island Mall. I remember the week it came out on MTV, and like it was on the front page of the newspaper. Everyone was like, MTV was like, it was nuts. Like that video, the Wu-Tang Clan, and True Life, I'm Getting Married.
I remember that
time. It was like, I will cut you like a fish. Those are three things that put Staten Island on the map in my age bracket. Like that video in particular. But that's all we had. All we had was the Staten Island Mall. And it was a great mall. So like seeing him go down that escalator and sitting in the little centerpiece, the fountains, and just going through the food courts and all that type of stuff, that just brings me back to a very special time. So yes, shout out to the New Radicals. And for those who may be wondering, what were my first CD purchases ever as a child when I had my own money and allowance? I think, and I'm definitely missing one album, but the first three was one, the Dangerous Minds soundtrack featuring Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio. Another one.
Was that song also available at the time on a Coolio album, or was it only on the soundtrack?
I think it eventually was on a Coolio album, but
But if you wanted it, then you had to get that.
You had to get the Dangerous Mind soundtrack. Yeah, it was that. In My Lifetime by Jay-Z. And like 2 years later, I got Dr. Dre 2001 and NSYNC No Strings Attached.
There you go.
Those are my first CD purchases as a child. So that should tell you all you need to know about me.
I'll reveal mine next week. That'll keep people coming back. Brian Waters, did we forget anything?
I think we're good money.
Yeah, we are good. I'm looking at the sheet. Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
great stuff.
You can buy a bucket hat just like the New Radicals guy. Oh no, that's different. Different color.
Don't give up, no reason to live. Forget
it's green. It's military green with a blue and white striped. Killing it right now.
Karaoke with Kaz happening in Survivor Series weekend.
You only get what you give. Don't give up. You got the dreamer's disease. Oh, come on, man. That's a perfect song.
Play that on the outro, Brian. Just play it. Anyway,
come
Kaz,
around, we'll kick your asses. They said ass in the pop song. That was a big thing back in the day. I was like, oh, they cursed. Yes.
Kaz, you want to get some plugs in? I hate to interrupt the singing.
Say less. Subscribe to our podcast, youtube.com/Kazeem. Myself, Rosie, every Friday. We drop every weekend, but if you want to watch us live as we're recording it, we live stream on all of my social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, X, all that type of stuff. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the podcast. Appreciate y'all. Next week, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, we are back, baby. That's all I got to plug.
Thank you, Kaz. Thanks to Brian H. Waters, our producer. Thanks to our EP Ben Cruz. Thank you all for listening. Finn Balor's going to be okay. Boo your mama. We'll see you back here next week, humanoids.
Peace.